Soha Hometalk, Soha Housing's residence magazine. This issue for summer 2024. Your home, your community, news, opportunities and events.
Welcome to the summer edition of Hometalk from Kate Waring. By the time you hear this, the general election will be over and you may have a new Member of Parliament representing you. As I write this in late May, we are keeping in contact with candidates so that whoever gets elected, they know who we are. We'll tell them what we think they need to do to enable us to provide more homes for rent and shared ownership in our communities. One thing I'm very concerned about is housing associations like Soha being supported to build more housing to rent at social rent. We understand that just because things aren't as bad as they were at the height of the cost of living crisis, household finances are still very challenged. Later you'll hear a special focus on Soha's tenancy sustainment team. We want to show you just how much help is available to you if you have a short-term need of support to manage your tenancy. It may be that you have little or no experience of renting and are looking for help connecting with utilities and the community where you live. Others might find that illness or disability in the family has dealt a blow to finances. Listen to the encouraging stories we feature and do get in touch if you think we could help you too. News in Brief, which follows next, has our customary snippets of news. But there's one item there about a very important decision we'll be asking our members for in September, which will affect Soha's future development plans. Please listen and consider if you would like to become a member, so you can attend our AGM and cast your vote. There's another significant piece of news for you in this magazine, and it's in the section later entitled All About Your Home. We're embarking on a major and exciting change to how we will deliver repairs. Finally, if you're one of our hundreds of tenants under 67 and receiving housing benefit, may I suggest you listen to the item entitled Under 67 and Receiving Housing Benefit. We tell you what you need to do next as the government phases out housing benefit to replace it with universal credit. Importantly, you'll see when to do that to ensure you don't lose money. With best wishes, Kate.
Contact us. Write to the editor, Hometalk Magazine, Soha Housing, Royal Scot House, 99 Station Road, Didcot, OX11 7NN. Call 01 235 515 900 or 0800 014 1545, a free phone number. Email housing@soha.co.uk. Join the conversation on Twitter or X @Soha Housing. Find us on Facebook @Soha Housing. Find us on Instagram @Soha Housing. Find us on LinkedIn @Soha-Housing. Find us on YouTube @Soha Housing. Designed by Toast Design, www.toastdesign.co.uk. Print managed by Baker Goodchild, www.bakergoodchild.co.uk. Audio services by Transcriptions Direct, www.transcriptionsdirect.co.uk. Sub-editor Muriel Lewis, 2M Partnership, www.2m.org.uk. Hometalk is also available in large print, audio and electronic formats. If you would like to receive a different version or unsubscribe from receiving Hometalk altogether, please email communications@soha.co.uk or call us on the free phone number 0800 014 1545. To read this or any Soha publication in another language, or to add English speech so that it's read aloud to you, go to www.soha.co.uk and click the red People logo bottom right. followed by the question mark that appears at the top of the screen.
News in brief. An important decision we're putting to members. At Soha's September AGM, we'll be asking you to vote on a proposal to lift the ceiling we set ourselves on the amount of money we can borrow to build new homes. This is a big commitment for Soha, but one which will allow us to carry on providing the homes the area needs. It needs a change in the rules of the company, and we need your permission for that. Even if you can't attend in person, if you're a member you can vote by proxy. We can tell you more about that nearer the time. For £1, the cost of becoming a member, you would be making a difference to the development landscape across Soha's territory for the next generation and beyond. In a moment you can hear how to apply and the benefits you get from membership.
Text scams are on the rise. Scammers or housing disrepair services will often send you a link to give an opinion about your repairs. Genuine Soha repairs survey texts come from 07451 273111. It's always best never to open links from phone numbers you don't recognise. If you're not sure, you could use www.who-called.co.uk first to find out who it is who's trying to contact you.
Quiet green space. Soha residents and their neighbours in Whitchurch-on-Thames have been part of a 40-person community project over the last 5 years. They've turned land on the site of the former Polish chapel of a post-Second World War refugee camp into the Polish Church Memorial Garden. Doreen arranged a grant from Soha to donate a cherry tree to the garden, designed to encourage wildlife. It's at Manor Road and open to anyone to visit.
Monthly prize draw. If you're a Soha resident who's not yet chosen to become a member, another reason to join is because you're missing out on some great events. There's also a monthly shopping voucher prize draw for £50. The most recent winners were Simon in Didcot, Greg in Wallingford, Tracy in Henley, and Alan in Chinnor. Get in touch if you'd like to be part of the action. Email the resident engagement team on ri@soha.co.uk or call them on free phone 0800 014 1545.
If you know anyone thinking of buying a home, you'll find the latest properties on our new Facebook and Instagram pages called Soha Home Ownership, as well as on the dedicated website www.sohahomeownership.co.uk.
It costs Soha £100,000 a year to send out letters. The post can sometimes be a bit unreliable, so we are no longer sending out repairs confirmation letters as routine. Instead, you can view the status of your repair at any time in the My Soha app. In the future, we will record your preferences for communication, ensuring you receive our correspondence in a way that suits you. To register for My Soha, go to www.soha.co.uk/mysoha.
Where to find us this summer? All free and all details on our website at www.soha.co.uk/events. July the 6th, Tomley Accessible and Abingdon Playday. July the 13th, Weekly Play and Activity Day. August the 2nd, Farringdon Playday. August the 6th, Berensfield Playday. And August the 13th, Henley Playday. Plus lots of drop-ins across our region where no appointment is needed for you to meet your local team. Tell them what's on your mind about your home or neighbourhood, not just in summer but regularly throughout the year. Visit www.soha.co.uk soha.co.uk/events. Keep an eye on our social media or call in to your neighbourhood team on free phone 0800 014 1545 to find out when we're in your area. If you're in Didcot, you're always welcome to visit us opposite Didcot Parkway Railway Station. Again, there's no appointment needed.
Under 67 and receiving housing benefit? Keep listening. You may already have had a letter from the government with UC Universal Credit and HM Revenue and Customs as a heading. If you haven't already had a letter, you will get one soon. It explains that housing benefit is going to be phased out and Universal Credit, UC, will take its place. You will need to claim Universal Credit as the change from housing benefit won't happen automatically. Two things are really important. Don't do anything until you get the government letter. Do claim by the deadline the letter gives you. It's easiest to apply for Universal Credit online. You could start gathering the things you'll need to make the claim. 1. A working mobile phone. 2. Identification such as your driving license, passport or a debit card. 3. Your national insurance number. 4. Your bank account details. 5. Details of any disability or health condition if you have any. 6. Details of childcare costs if you have any. 7. Details of your income, payslip or pension advice or P60. 8. Details of your savings. 9. Your rent costs. This can be checked in your My Soha account on your phone or computer. It's also in April's rent increase letter. And 10. If you don't have email, you can claim by phone, and the government letter will give you the number. Here to help. Soha staff are here to help you if you get stuck.
Here to help. Meet the Tenancy Sustainment Team. There's Vicky, who's the team manager, Toby, Holly, Sommer, Caroline and Claire. If you're having difficulty managing your tenancy or finding the day-to-day running of your own home a challenge, these lovely people are here to help. Their whole service is designed to support you. Here are just some of the things that you could find the team doing. Helping a resident understand and claim the benefits they're entitled to. Supporting people to manage their money and get budgeting skills. Explaining housing options and helping residents find their next home. Referring someone to local services, such as a food bank or clothing bank. Helping residents look after their health by registering with a GP or dentist. In the last year, the team has supported 348 residents. Among them were shared owners as well as renters. Keep listening to hear the stories of 5 who the team have helped.
Kay said, "My tenancy sustainment officer, Toby, has been supporting me since I moved into my bungalow. I had a traumatic time in temporary accommodation in an Oxford motel. Toby has helped me to apply for Universal Credit, council tax reduction and personal independence payment or PIP. He has helped me to get my free bus pass and a passport after my previous one was lost. Toby helps with a lot of my letters and forms as my reading is not very good. I have no family in the area and never had children. Soha was great at the lettings stage as a voucher covered the fridge freezer, washing machine and gas cooker. Toby helped me get a new kettle, toaster and microwave. He also got an extra freezer and leather sofa donated to me. My level access shower floor has been upgraded to give me better grip. The list of things Toby has done for me goes on and on. He is like a friend who I can text any time for advice. He visits each month and messages me each week. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else or have anybody else support me.
S said I wouldn't be where I am now without the help of Soha. I live in Abingdon and am a mum with 2 children. My mental and physical health are poor, making me unable to work. Stuff like filling in forms can still completely overwhelm me, but I know I have somewhere to turn now. I successfully claimed PIP, filling in a form thanks to Soha. She also helped me sort out my arrears. She was so thorough. I hadn't been sleeping, but now I'm not struggling anymore. I have much more money and have reduced my debt. Getting support from the Tenancy Sustainment Service was life-changing.
Elle said, "It was Caroline who helped me because I live in Didcot locality and she is the Tenancy Sustainment Officer for my area. I was struggling with my rent due to being in and out of hospital. Work didn't provide a stable income. Caroline visited me to talk through universal credit and sick pay. She suggested Citizens Advice would help me with a council tax issue. Caroline and I agreed a payment plan, and that if I could keep up 4 months of payments, one after the other, we would apply for funding to help clear the rest of the arrears. I needed to get rid of rubbish that was piling up outside my home, but it would have cost a fortune to do that. Caroline organised for it to be removed by Soha. Big repair jobs which were needed were really getting me down, so Caroline also got these sorted for me."
A told us, when I got my Soha home, the lettings officer for Watlington referred my family to the tenancy sustainment team. We were going to be bedroom taxed because it was a 3-bed property for me and my wife, but we had 2 children under 5. Claire came out to help with claiming a reduction in council tax. She also helped set up the gas, electric, phone and so on. When Claire looked at our universal credit, UC payments, she noticed that we were only getting the single person's allowance when we should have been getting a joint allowance for my wife as well. We also weren't getting the disabled child element of UC. Our son is severely disabled, and my wife and I can't work as he needs constant care. Claire advised me to get medical evidence of the disability and to make it clear that my son needs his own room, so we shouldn't be bedroom taxed as well. UC agreed my benefit could be backdated for 2 years and removed the bedroom tax. The big payment means we have been able to restart my son's treatments again, because we are no longer struggling financially. Claire was helpful and listened to our concerns. She solved the immediate worries within a few hours.
Holly has been working with F for a while. The referral came following a gas check at his home, where the engineer flagged concerns about the condition of the property and welfare of the tenant. The home was indeed in a bad condition with lots of possessions hoarded. The kitchen and bathroom were the worst rooms of the property. The tenant's toilet had been blocked for a long time. Since then, F has had a visit from the fire service and many from Holly and a colleague in the Wallingford locality team. The tenant has made huge efforts to remove items from the property, reorganise items and make his home much safer. He has done the majority of this work on his own and had some help from the charity Helping Hands for Hoarders. Soha gave him some supplies to ensure he can keep his home clean and tidy. He has made great progress, even starting to enjoy cleaning. The Tenancy Sustainment team have their own page on the Soha website, where you can find out much more about their work. Visit www.soha.co.uk/support or email tenancysustainment@soha.co.uk or call us on free phone 0800 014 1545.
Taking the heat off. Summer is often a time when unwelcome behaviour arises. It's very often just someone being a bit thoughtless. So here are the neighbourhood's team's top tips to keep everyone happy. Your next doors can end up experiencing your outdoor party without wanting to if cigarette or barbecue smoke drifts over their fence or into their home. Stop this happening by keeping the party well away from the boundary. Turn down the music too. If you're returning late in the car after a great evening out, remember that the whole neighbourhood won't want to rock along to your car sound system with you. Bear in mind too that the noise of children enjoying long summer holiday evenings can carry a really long way on a still night. Getting a few friends together in the communal gardens on your estate. Please don't light fires. Let kids kick the football up against house walls or fences, or leave litter. If your friends are coming over by car, ask them to think about where they park. If you tell your neighbours what you're thinking about doing, they'll have the opportunity to plan around you.
What to do if you're feeling the effects of unwelcome behaviour? In most situations, talking to your neighbour and explaining how their behaviour is affecting you will help. Asking politely for something to change can work wonders, but be prepared to be flexible. For example, a bit more noise than usual made by children playing outdoors in the holidays won't last forever. If you're unwell, or the noise is stressing you, a quiet word is likely to be met with understanding for your situation. There can be times when you feel like you and your neighbours are never going to see eye to eye. If you approach a neighbour and they get aggressive, don't push it, walk away. Mediation is a valuable tool worth considering. We can help you and your neighbour access mediation. This is a way of sorting out differences without involving solicitors or the courts. Almost everyone who tries mediation sees positive improvements. For many, it resolves their dispute completely. The mediators visit each person separately and don't take sides or judge anyone. They would not pass on anything you have said without your permission. When they do get everyone together, they help you reach an agreement that meets the concerns of all of you and that all of you can accept. The neighbourhood team manages complaints of unwelcome and antisocial behaviour. You can report them at www.soha.co.uk/report-ASB. If the situation is an emergency, call 999.
CSI Soha. Jade is Soha's Tenancy Enforcement Officer. She manages cases on behalf of the Community Neighbourhood Team to make sure a property is being used appropriately. Jade also investigates when there has been a serious breach of a tenancy. For example, when antisocial behaviour continues despite 2 warnings, or where we believe a property has been abandoned, sublet, or residents are being fraudulent. Jade works closely with Soha's community neighbourhood officers, the police, and a council's fraud team. Between them, and Jade being able to tap into the National Anti-Fraud Database, they can gather evidence. Jade's job is to look at the case from all angles, often getting witness statements. She ensures there is a watertight case before starting legal action against a tenant. As a result, she also has a hotline to Soha solicitors. If Soha does go on to take legal action, it is Jade who represents Soha in court. When Jade does go to court, she asks the judge for the outcome believed to be most suitable for the circumstances. That might be for an injunction. That's a legal requirement for the tenant to stop doing whatever it is that is causing the breach, or for a notice of possession, in other words, getting permission to evict. But Jade also says it's not all about being the enforcer. My role is just as much about helping people to stay in their properties. I point out what their tenancy agreement says and give them the opportunity to stick to it. In some cases, I seek support for them. Sometimes that means working with the tenant on an acceptable behaviour contract, ABC, which is an agreement we ask them to adhere to before we consider legal action. Jade also says, "My work makes a difference to Soha, and most importantly, to tenants and their neighbours by helping them be able to enjoy their home again. Through my fraud and abandonment work, I help free up a property for someone new to move in. The new tenant might have been on the housing waiting list for years and really needs that home. Every case is different." Jade got involved because a tenant repeatedly would not allow contractors access for essential work.
What she did. Successfully applied for a first injunction to which the tenant did not respond. The police broke the door down because of suspected criminal activity. Second injunction, tenant did not engage. Soha took possession and re-let the home to someone who is taking care of the two-bed flat.
This case was about the property's condition, but Jade also had to act against residents who don't allow access for their gas safety check. This one was a potential life and death situation for not just the tenant and their family, but also for everyone in the immediate neighbourhood. Jade got involved in several neighbourhood disturbances because there had been reports of noise nuisance.
What she did. In each case, she successfully got injunctions against the tenants to stop their behaviour. If they continue to breach their tenancy agreement, they will be evicted.
Jade got involved because a drug stem was confirmed by the police.
What she did. Working with neighbours within the block, Jade's evidence led to a closure order, which automatically means the tenant can be evicted. Mandatory grounds for possession.
Jade got involved because a tenant told us they thought the neighbouring 3-bed semi-detached house had been abandoned by the tenant. His son was living there, but dealt drugs, and his parties caused ASB, antisocial behaviour, which led to the police being involved.
What she did. Investigation with South Oxfordshire District Council fraud team and research via the National Anti-Fraud Database. Applied for suspended possession order, meaning that the tenant had to return and the antisocial behaviour stop, or the house would be returned to Soha.
All about your home. Since Soha began, we've always paid external companies to provide our repairs and maintenance services. As a community mutual, we have listened to residents and carried out lots of research, and now believe we could provide a better service for residents by running this service ourselves. From May 2025, we will be directly employing new members of staff to deliver our responsive and voids empty home services. We are confident we can improve your experience and satisfaction alongside benefiting our communities by investing in a local workforce, including offering apprenticeships. We're very excited about the possibilities. We need to hear what you want from our new repairs service. Tell us at www.soha.co.uk/in-house-contractor or by phoning customer services on free phone 0800 014 1545. Stay up to date with what's happening when at www.soha.co.uk/in-house-contractor, where we'll be sharing all the most important news.
We still weren't where we wanted to be on getting repairs done quickly and to a high quality in the last quarter. As we now have more contracting firms to undertake the repairs, things are looking up. This is despite some really challenging conditions in the whole sector. Our colleagues in other housing associations tell us that they too are seeing the same spike in repair numbers as we are. That's unusual for early summer, but we are doing our best. This is the hot off the press picture now. Satisfaction with repairs, 72%. Last quarter, 72%. Satisfaction with time taken for repairs, 72%. Last quarter, 67%.
Work to make our homes more comfortable and more energy efficient continues. Mrs. Clark of Benson, who has just had insulation installed in her home, says, "I had no insulation, but I feel like I've now got a thick blanket around my house. It's lovely letting myself in the house through the new front door. It's not drafty." The contractors were nice people who cleared up after themselves, although the work did take several months. Paul Neal, who's managing the project at Soha, was here to supervise what they were doing if I was ever concerned. If you're invited to have our surveyors round to assess your home, be reassured by Mrs. Clark's experience that it's not messy or disruptive and makes a huge difference to her family's comfort.
A 14-strong focus group of residents met Soha staff to discuss Soha's empty homes, repairs and communal cleaning standards. They gave their feedback, which was put out to a sample 750 residents. Maybe you're one of those who received that survey by email. You could win £50 in shopping vouchers, so don't delay if you haven't yet shared your views. If you'd like to be invited to give your opinions on a particular area of Soha's work, just let Resident Engagement know. Jackie and Michelle would add you to our sounding board so you could be contacted about online surveys and focus groups. You can email them at ri@soha.co.uk or you can call them on free phone 0800 014 1545. There's always a thank you in the form of shopping vouchers.
Tenant satisfaction measures. All housing associations like Soha must produce data on tenant satisfaction measures. This information comes from our survey company, Acuity, which rings between 300 and 400 randomly picked residents every quarter. They ask each household the same questions. This means we have a representative view on how residents think we're doing. The figures help our residents, including shared owners, assess how well we're performing. They also give us here at Soha insight into how to improve our services. Social housing is regulated by the regulator of social housing, and the regulator also uses these measures to evaluate Soha's performance. This is the latest crop of data with tenants telling us how they thought we performed between April and June 2024 on key areas and how we compared with other landlords. You said we were doing well in comparison on your satisfaction on our overall service. We scored 85%, against the average of 84% of the best performing of our benchmarked housing associations. Treating residents fairly and with respect. We scored 85%, against the benchmark figure of 85%. Your satisfaction with keeping residents informed. We scored 82% against the benchmark figure of 83%. Soha making a positive difference to your community. We scored 81% against the benchmark figure of 77%.
But your satisfaction with these measures was less good. Repairs completed in the last 12 months. We scored 72% against a benchmark figure of 78%. It's going up, as we told you earlier, but that's lower than other housing associations. Handling of antisocial behaviour. We scored 64% against a benchmark figure of 61%. But that's only a bit higher than the 61% midpoint for others. Communal areas. We scored 77% against the benchmark figure of 80%. Not quite as good as the best performing housing associations. You can find the results across all the measures on our website at www.soha.co.uk/service-standards.
Volunteer Land Army, powered by Soha and the Good Neighbour Scheme. Do you enjoy gardening? Want to make a positive impact in your neighbourhood? Join our community of Soha residents who help out other residents with their gardens. You'd get your own Volunteer Land Army t-shirt, Soha Green Team membership, Soha Seed Exchange membership, summer and Christmas celebration events, 3 monthly shopping vouchers for offering 12 hours a month. Find out more by emailing the neighbourhood team on neighbourhoodteam@soha.co.uk or by calling free phone 0800 014 1545.